Hi everyone, this is Leslie with the Plaid Poodle, and this is our second in the series for the 12 weeks of Christmas. And I'm going to demonstrate today how I made this cute little card. This is with a very classic stamp set from Stampin' Up, Lovely as a Tree. It's just a very popular stamp set that Stampin' Up has carried for years, and I don't know what would happen if they got rid of it, but I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there is some dazzling diamonds on there, so those trees are sparkling as if there's frost on them. So anyway, to make the card, I used for the base a piece of Whisper White cardstock, 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. I scored it at 4 1/4 on my Stampin' trimmer, and then folded it in half. The second layer is a piece of Always Artichoke cardstock, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. And all I'm going to do on that is just use some snail. And attach it in the center of the base of my card. And then for the stamping, I took another piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this piece of paper is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to take my stamp. I'm using the row of trees, and I'm going to use the stamping off on this card, because as you can see, the cards in the forefront are darker, and then as you get back in the card, they look like they're farther back, and so we stamped off on those. But the first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to try and do this straight without getting my head in the camera, is ink up my stamp very well. And I'm just going to center that. And I probably need to re-ink my stamp pad, but I think it's dark enough. Oh yeah, it's great. Okay, now for the other layers, I'm going to stamp off once, and then I'm going to just kind of go up behind this first row of trees and stamp. And I stamped off once on just a piece of scrap paper. And then I'm going to ink my stamp up again. Stamp off once. And once again. Sorry, I just shook the camera stand. I'm actually standing up filming this. So there's your trees right there, and it just looks like you've got a forest of trees. Now I could add another row, but I'm not going to on this one, I don't think. For my sentiment, on my sample I used a sentiment from the Endless Wishes stamp set out of the holiday catalog. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but if you're going to buy one stamp for the holiday season, that's a good one, because it has all of your sentiments and greetings, just anything you could think of, and then it's also got the snowflakes. So if you paired that with a couple of stamp pads and a couple of well, in the sample in the book they've just used Whisper White with some washi tape and ribbon, and it's just a stunning stamp set. So if I was going to buy one stamp set for the season, that would be a good one to get. Okay, so, but that being said, my sample, I used the Endless Wishes sentiment, but I'm going to use the sentiment from the Bright and Beautiful stamp set that I got at convention, and I'll be showing some projects with this stamp set and the coordinating die cuts later on, but I'm going to use the Season Greetings. This is comes with two containers as one set. Oh, I already took my sentiment out of there. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up. And once again, I'm going to try this to get this straight without getting my head in the camera. And I'm just going to put it down here. And I would usually use my Stamp-A-Ma-Jig at this point, but I think I can eyeball it okay. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper under here so you all can see without the trees underneath. How cute that looks. It looks like a little forest of trees. Now, after the ink is dried, which doesn't take too long, we're going to attach this to our card with snail. And just center that right on the piece of Always Artichoke. And then to jazz it up, I'm going to add a little bit of Dazzling Diamonds. And I'm not sure if the camera is picking this up or not, but it just looks like there's snow or frost on the trees. And it's just a real stunning effect on the card. And quite honestly, really sets the card off, or, you know, sets it apart. So to do that, I just am taking a little bit of my two-way glue pen. I'm going to get it juiced up really good. And I'm just going to kind of dot here, there, and everywhere. You don't want to, you know, big puddles, because then your frost will look like snowballs. But just a few little. And then it's a good thing I have this scrap paper. And then you just, you know, shake your Dazzling Diamonds on there. And we could have done this before we put it on the card, but I always think the more bling, the better. And I really hope the camera's picking that up, because it's just so beautiful. It's like, just like I said, like frost. So I'll save this later, for later. But there you have it. The second in our series of 12 Weeks of Christmas. If you want to see any other ideas or projects, please check out my blog, www.theplaidpoodle.com, and stay tuned for episode number 3. Thanks for joining me.